Hi everyone and welcome to episode 29 of the ITSM Crowd. This is our final ITSM Crowd of 2016 and it's our year in review part 2. So we've already had a chat with our mentors from Australia and New Zealand about what they enjoyed in 2016 and what they're looking forward to in 2017. And now we've got some representatives from other parts of the globe with us. So the first thing I'm going to do is ask our panel to introduce themselves. So working from left to right on my screen, Damien, if you want to kick us off, please.
Hi, I'm Damien Bowen, working in the UK. I've been dealing with Claire for a year and that now and had an amazing time as part of this. So it's nice to finish off the year on one of these as well.
Lovely, thank you very much. And Ivor?
Hi, Ivor McFarlane in the UK. Spent the year mostly doing training and happy to have survived it.
Well done. Nick?
Hi everyone, I'm Niklas Fredriksson, residing in Brazil, but originally from Sweden, ITSM consultant, trainer, and enjoying this ITSM crowd the first year now.
Thank you. And last but by no means least, Simone.
I should say bon Noel, everyone. It is the last one for this season. What a fabulous experience it has been this year with the ITSM crowd. So looking forward to hearing everyone's review.
Thank you very much. And my name's Claire Agutter. I'm the lead tutor for ITSM Zone and I'm the facilitator, I guess, for today's panel. We will be keeping an eye on the hashtag ITSM Crowd on Twitter. So if you've got any questions or if you've got anything that you want our panel to talk about, just pop something up on Twitter using the hashtag ITSM Crowd and we will pick it up during our chat today. And the only other thing that I really want to say is thank you so much to everyone who's been part of the ITSM crowd this year, all the people who've joined us and shared their knowledge and experience, but also those of you who've been watching as well. We've had more than 3,000 views this year, which is just fantastic, and I hope everyone is finding this content as enjoyable as I do.
Well, cheers to that one, Claire.
Yeah, cheers. I've got a cup of tea.
Yeah, in typical British.
Oh, nice.
Well, I'm in France. I think I can be forgiven.
So go on then, Simone. Kick us off. Tell us about 2016 and what your best bits have been.
Oh, gosh, 2016. For me, it's interesting. The year goes by so fast. I think Ivor said it best. He survived the year. I think the highlights for me, I had to go back through my calendar and actually look at everything that I've done each month. I think standouts for me were being opening keynote in Denmark conference, and more not just opening keynote, but the emotional intelligence was my topic.
Okay.
So I thought that was fabulous because we're starting to see more of those sorts of things creep in now. Another highlight, if I stay on the conference theme for a moment, was meeting Thor at the Norway conference and seeing Stuart Rance in his red cape. I thought that was great theme, the ITSM heroes or superheroes or the lack thereof or no one needs a hero. There were some great, interesting things around that whole genre of topic. Running more knowledge management, KCS courses, seeing that actually starting to gain more traction within Europe has been fabulous. And working my first combined workshop collaboration with an industry colleague, Mark Smalley, in running our Behave Yourself workshops. So again, back to the people theme and talking a lot more about behavior and culture, but really practicing that. So we ran that at both IT 500 and PAM Summit, and both of those were very new for me. I'd never been to them before. Mm-hmm. And so to see Edinburgh and Krakow, and next year we'll have the opportunity to see a couple of more places. We'll talk about that for 2017 later. But also being involved in ITIL Practitioner global launch. I thought that was also really exciting stuff. So I think that for me personally, that those were the big highlights
That sounds like a busy year. It really does. I mean, just picking up on things like emotional intelligence and the people side of things. For the rest of you on the panel, is that something that you're seeing as more important this year? Are more people talking about soft skills?
Yeah. Well, if I can say something, I think it's definitely still crucial. I've been talking about it for years, and I think it's got a better reception this year. I've been going around the conferences touting my plea for intelligent disobedience, actually trusting people to think rather than trying to force them into scripts all the time. And that's certainly got a good response. And I think that's reflected in the fact that finally there is not everybody, but there's a lot of people out there realizing that applying processes or doing what the book says is not going to get you to the answer. And they're coming back to realizing that there's people involved in this again, which is some small hope for the future, perhaps.
Tell us about the rest of your year, Ivor, then. What have been your highlights? Well,
I say to my amazement, I've survived it with enough money to get by. Surprised that there is actually enough ITIL training going on. I've got to the age where I'm not particularly looking to spend 3 years learning something new. So I've been turning out ITIL courses this year. And the good and bad about that, I've been to some customers, obviously, running training courses for other people. And depressingly, 1 or 2 of them are going through the "we've got to teach everybody ITIL" campaign. And that's, sometimes I sit there, I'm doing course number 4 of a series of 10 to get the entire IT department and more through ITIL, thinking that's not what you need. You need a broader perspective. There are some other great stuff out there. You know, there's DevOps, which they should be talking about. You don't want me teaching development people ITIL when you should be learning something about playing a bigger role. So I think there's a big message come out from what I've seen this year, is that some of the basic ideas still need to be out there. And that there are an awful lot of people out there who are still seeing the world as it was 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they haven't really caught up. So there's a big message to get out that way. The other thing I would like to say that I've loved best this year were 2 really one-day conferences that showed that what was best about the ITSM industry is still there. And in smaller countries, let me call them, Scotland and Slovakia, both of those, there were events I went to where there was a real spirit of interest, enjoyment, open-mindedness, both great events. I'm going to do Bratislava again next February. Really looking forward to that.
Is that the ITSMF conference?
That's the ITSMF in Slovakia. Really good atmosphere. Really looking forward to going back again. And very similar attitude, I thought, in Edinburgh.
Yes.
In the October-November event. There was that attitude of people coming along, open-minded, wanting to learn without being slavishly just listening, putting their ideas in. So I think there's good hope there.
I found the same in the PAM summit in Poland when we were at Krakow. I'm just wondering if these smaller places, there still seems to be that hunger for moving forward that some of the other ones seem to have lost.
What I wrote last year in my review of the Slovakian one, which was nice to see they actually put it up front on their website this year, was that the spirit of ITSMF is still alive and well and living in Bratislava.
Yes.
Thank you. Nicholas, tell us about your year in Brazil.
Well, it's a bit interesting because here there's not a lot of conferences in the ITSM area. There's a lot of company conferences, more like particular technology like BMC Remedy and these kind of things. So I did a few of those. I did a lot of webinars. So my year was a lot online, trying to reach out of Brazil, being part of DevOps Day, by the way, and I also did online training and a lot of things online. So it's a very different year because I'm a conference geek as well. I like to go to conferences, but here, in the lack of any really good ITSM conferences and IT governance, they did a lot of online things. It was great. But my highlight, I would actually like to agree with Simone. That's the ITIL practitioner, which I really liked. It's the first ITIL book I read. The other ones, you know, I looked through, but this I actually read, you know, the whole thing. I mean, you guys probably read the others, you know, at bedtime literature, I don't know, but this one I really enjoyed. Also had some difficulties passing the exam, which perhaps some other of you also had, but I mean, I managed to pass. It's the only ITIL exam I had to do more than once.
Yes, but I think doing the exam, that was actually part of the trial anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. Yes, so I thought I always brag of being a pragmatical person, you know. And then we have the first, you know, practical ITIL exam, which is ITIL practitioner, and I failed. So I was like, oh, this is not good. And I learned that it was very, very, you know, experimental in its approach. So
I need to say, you know, how
a lot of people fail.
It is to have on our Christmas show that we have a St. Nicholas with us.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I tried to find the hood, but I didn't find it. You know. I think my kids played with it and put it somewhere because I wanted to, you know, get some Christmas spirit, but I didn't manage. So.
That's all right. I think I
thank you, Simone, for that.
For all of us.
Yeah, Simone's Mrs. Claus.
Anyway, just to sum things up, the things I really enjoyed this year is to finally see IT service managing being something that is more focused in the management, in the business side of companies, because of, mainly of the technology disruption, a lot of companies wanting to do things faster and having to get involved in how we run IT. And that's why I think DevOps and now we're talking Agile and Scrum and everything is getting more attention now. Because we have a new set of requirements. Our life in IT is no longer IT. Everything is integrated now. So I really enjoy this, by the way, because I always wanted to be, you know, the bridge between business and IT, and not be, you know, the guys, you know, the big shoulder for the CIO to cry on.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it's definitely something I've noticed this year is this explosion of management practices, I guess we'd call them. You know, people are looking at DevOps, Agile, Lean. Business relationship management seems to be growing massively as well. So it's been a revolutionary 12 months, really, I guess, for IT. So, Damien, tell us about your year, because you've had quite an exciting year as well, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a challenging year, but it's been an exciting one to end with. Going on to what Simone and especially Ivor said about emotional intelligence, I think IT are just trying to get back to now that people are actually our unique asset. Every person that we have has got a different skill, got a different way of applying it, and you know, working together and actually bringing those softer skills out rather than just giving them processes to say. And Ivor's view on intelligent disobedience is right. You know, we should let our people be unique, and I think that's our unique selling point as humans, personally. But one of the things I've noticed most about this year is the speed the speed in which things are needing to be done, and how short we seem to be on time, and making sure on top of the speed of delivery and the time we have to deliver is the quality still stays on top. And I think there's been a potential to lose that, but I think some of the other processes and the management practices that are there around DevOps now are actually helping with that. And I think if a lot of these management practices start integrating together, I think it's going to be quite a successful 2017. I even forgot which year I was in there.
Zooming into the future.
Yeah. Personal one for me, after 26 years of a long-term employee of a company, I've decided to, following one of the hangouts and talking to Claire and that, to go off on my own now and
congratulations.
To brave the world of consultancy and see if I can help other organisations. One of the key things that I've loved about this year was being at the ITSM conference in the UK and watching Claire launch SIAM. which was and being part of that team and part of something new for the industry that can go forward in 2017 has been, it's been quite enlightening, and you've been a joy to work with, Claire, I must admit, on that.
Oh,
It's
thank
been
you, Damien.
phenomenal.
Oh, what a treat.
I had the privilege of winning the SDI Leader of the Year award earlier in the year, and got to, oh, there you go, Claire. Yay, I've made it. And I think, to follow on one of the things that Simone said, I was lucky enough to ask to do a closing keynote at one of the SDI's first Latin America conference at the Mexico Stock Exchange. So it's been a whirlwind year. And the one thing I'd like to say, and have it on record, it's going to be videoed forever, is the support I've had from the ITSM community to do things for myself and to go out and to learn and to try and help change the world has been phenomenal, and it's made it the absolute right decision for me. So thank you to everyone that knows me and has been involved in supporting me.
Oh, that's lovely, and I think I'd really echo that. This has been a big year for me. From a business perspective, we've been creating the SIAM certification scheme and the training, and also we've set up the virtual consultancy practice, so you can work with any of the panel members that are on this hangout as a virtual consultant. And for me, this year has more than ever just reinforced what an amazing community we have in service management, and a global community as well now through social media. You can talk to people around the world, you can share ideas, and I think it is something really, really special. And for anybody watching who is newer to service management, I really would recommend that you get out there as much as you can. Get involved with the ITSMF, get involved with SDI, BRM Institute, DevOps Institute.
Yeah.
There's so many member bodies that you can get involved with. Doesn't have to cost you large amounts of money.
Yeah.
Nicholas at the moment is investigating if we can bring ITSMF Brazil back to life, which would be nice, because that one isn't an active chapter at the moment. So
and
if you want to get involved with that.
Yeah.
Same for
Absolutely.
France. We're trying to revive ITSMF France as well. So if that's something you really want, French-speaking peoples, we would love that.
Yep. Yeah, it's a fabulous community, and I've been part of it for many years now. But this year in particular, the generosity that people have showed and the willingness to give time and share experiences has just been phenomenal. So it's
actually, Claire, I'd like to mention something that was in the part one that Daniel Breston said. That there's been a couple of things about LinkedIn forums or groups maybe not being as participative or as supportive as what some of them are, but there seems to be a general consensus that's sort of dropping off. And Daniel said something that I thought was fabulous, which the Back to ITSM group on Facebook is probably, he said, and I thoroughly agree, the most open, honest, knowledge sharing group within our community that he has ever seen, and I would have to thoroughly agree with that.
I think it's interesting from my perspective. I've been in these communities for probably more than the rest of you, and I remember writing literally 20 years ago, writing what a great community we got here, how people just defaulted to helping each other. And maybe 10 years later, I was getting very cynical, and I could see that disappearing. And I remember writing stuff about now there are alternatives, there's competition appearing within our industry. It isn't just about making the cake better. And regrettably, we've been so successful that these are not such fun days to be alive in. And it's interesting to see that spirit is actually coming back, to my surprise.
Yeah, totally agree, Ivor.
Will be great if we can resurrect some of those chapters. I have good memories of ITSMF France. Still my coffee cup of choice every morning. It's got ITSMF France written on it. And of course, without ITSMF Brazil, I wouldn't be married to the woman I'm married to at the moment. So
at the moment,
and actually, France wouldn't have the coffee beans we needed either.
No, exactly. So I'd love to see both those chapters come back again.
No, I mean we are dreaming here about arranging our first really ITSM conference perhaps next year.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so
let's see.
Well, Lucy, who I'm married to now, actually arranged the ITSMF conferences for 2 or 3 years in Sao Paulo. So it would be lovely to see them come back again.
Yeah,
Wow,
I'd be up for a trip to Brazil, I think. Yeah, that'd be fabulous.
Yeah, and me, and that sounded
No, I
like
mean,
an
it's a good
option as well.
Hey, Nicholas, how much room do you have at your place?
Oh, plenty.
So, what are we looking forward to next year, then, people? I'll just say mine first, but then I won't mention it again. But I'm looking forward to in March the official launch of the SIAM Foundation Training and Certification Scheme. That's the 1st of March. That is Scopism, my company, in collaboration with Exin and BCS. And also at the end of March 2017, we're going to be running a SIAM focused event in Leeds in the north of England. So we'll be putting more information about that. But that's going to be exciting as well, and bringing some service management events to somewhere closer to me than London's going to be fabulous. So they're my highlights. That's just Q1. But you know, for the rest of you, what are you looking forward to next year?
Well, I'm looking forward to going back to Bratislava in February.
Nice.
That's about the only thing I've got in my diary. I set 3-week holiday in California and Hawaii. I think I'll cover that as well. But that's not terribly ITSM focused.
No.
But I'm looking forward to more in the right direction again, things we've been talking about. And actually getting that broader perspective. And particularly looking forward to getting the community back into places where it's faded away a bit.
Nicholas, what are you looking forward to next year?
Well, in the short perspective, I'm looking forward to become European again for a few months. Since I'm going back there to do a few projects, since here is very difficult.
You just missed the glog, isn't it? You're missing the glog.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's impossible to get glog here. You have to, get wine and put raisins in it, and it's just not the same thing. No, but seriously, I'm looking forward to getting more, ITSM related projects again, and also to get new energy into the ITSMF chapter here in Brazil. Hopefully, we will get that online, perhaps the second quarter next year, and getting more, because it's been a few years for me that I've been doing a lot of different types of projects. I did only ITSM, and when I got to Brazil, I had to be a bit more practical, since the market is different here. I also look forward to being more international with with Scopism and online and everything.
Sounds good. Simone, what are your 2017 plans?
Well, 2017, interestingly, because of some of the, I guess, changes in scope this year, I'm reassessing exactly the approaches for 2017, which I think is what most businesses are trying to do as well. So there are a few, I'm looking at really going back to my roots in organizational change in HR and people stuff that I came from, hence the emotional intelligence and behave yourself and things like that. So I'm looking forward to, it's not so much, not necessarily emerging. I love Ivor's intelligent disobedience and things like that and how it fits with the other stuff I've been looking at working on. So people using more tools like the ABC cards, attitude, business and cultural aspects. Lego Serious Play is starting to a little bit of a splash, which is great. So people are coming back to approaches that have always been there, but starting to now regain a little bit more understanding. And the knowledge, it's what sparks people's imaginations and therefore their innovation is what I'm looking forward to in 2017. I mean, Einstein wouldn't have come up with his theories if he hadn't have worked in the Swiss Patent Office. The guy was sitting there he was one of the assessors for originality of like looking at how original these patterns were that were coming through on the new time stuff like clock synchronization and time zone introduction. And so I think making sure people are where the knowledge is, being where the knowledge is, which is why ITSMF Brazil revival and France revival and things is important. If you're where the knowledge is, that's when that creativity sparks and the innovation comes. And that's what I'm really looking forward to helping be a part of and create in 2017. And of course, scopism. My tagline for scopism now is scopism is escapism, because e-consulting means we can escape to anywhere in the world.
Yep.
Be anywhere in the world, and you can be there with us.
Yep. The future of consultancy is definitely virtual. Yeah.
So there you go. Some of my thoughts for that.
That sounds lovely. And I think that again is so true, that if you surround yourself with clever people and people with ideas, you are lifted by them, and you know, getting out there and meeting people and talking to people and sharing ideas online is it's just part of lifelong learning to me. Damien, what are you planning in 2017?
Well, I think a couple of people have mentioned as well, I'm looking forward to the launch of SIAM. Obviously, they're working more in the community now and hoping to try and build that, but hopefully running a successful business. And I think one of the key focuses to me that I want to be involved in is looking at business relationship management and actually focus on the value that IT and ITSM can now bring to businesses. And that's what's really keen for me, one of the reasons why I've gone to do this. And I think we do add significant value as unique people in the processes we have, in the technologies that we implement. I just don't necessarily think we market ourselves necessarily the best. And we not putting the right messages out there, and that's one of the things I want to try and get involved in, show the business through potentially business relationship management the value that the ITSM community actually brings to organisations, and that's one of my key objectives for the company, really.
Fantastic. And just tell people where they can find a little bit more information about your company.
Yeah, it's www.itsmvalue.co.uk. Happy to help anyone, but also bring work to other people as well in the community. That's part of what I'd like to be, someone that can help get work for other people as well.
It's all right, Damien, we can chat.
Yeah, we'll form an orderly queue.
Thank you, Ivor. I don't know whether I'll be intelligently disobedient to that.
Oh, lovely. All right, well, we've come to the end of our time, so it just remains for me to say a huge thank you to our panel today. It's always nice at this time of year just to take a look back at what's been good and lay out some plans for next year, I think on a personal level and a business level. So thank you so much for joining me in doing this, and have a lovely evening or day wherever you are. Thank you, guys.
I think we have to say to you, Claire, as well, thank you for pulling all of these together, and happy Christmas.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. Bon Noël à vous.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Feliz Natal.